strikes. Figueroa is another one of those pitchers looks to the ground before he delivers to the plate, which makes hitters nervous.
Took me a while to learn. Joe about Davey Lopes pitched the game last year against the Dodgers. Lopes hit the first pitch over the right center field wall. Came to Cincinnati. Led off the game. The first pitch he hit off the right center field wall for a triple. 2 pitches, got a home run and a triple off it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Nettles is really playing cat and mouse with Lopes. Not coming in, but he's in a hole. He takes 2 steps to his right or even more.
He's very mobile as the pitch is on the way. He gets the sign, as we said yesterday. An appeal play. First base umpire says no, Frank Pulley. But he'll get the signs from Bucky Dent. He'll yell his name on the fastball. He'll move to his left. And the changeup or breaking ball, he'll move to his right. Ball they're more likely to hit down the line. And he's like a tennis player who anticipates. That's out of play. Thurman Munson said before the game of Nettles, he's the best all-round athlete I've ever played any sport with. Munson has played a lot of sports. There's Thurman. Talking about base running, fielding, hitting under pressure.
Right field. Vanilla has room. 1 out. One away, it brings up Bill Russell, the shortstop. He is 6 for 13. He is leading the Dodgers with base hits. Baker has 5. In fact, he's leading both teams. Jackson has 5. So here is Kurt Gowdy's man, the man he picked. And he's leading in base hits. Tough play. Another base hit. He just couldn't pick it up. That was one of those in-betweeners.
I don't think it was because of the wet turf. Joe, they had the infield covered all night, and the infield really does look pretty good. It's just a bad thing of communication between Munson and Figueroa. They don't really seem to be working together right there, and it's I got it, you take it kind of play, and no chance at first base.
One of the things they'll teach both the catcher and any infielder and the pitcher, too, especially, is to grab the ball with 2 hands, the glove and the hand. He grabbed it just with the glove and never could get a good grip on it. But the infield's very bumpy, as is the outfield here in Yankee Stadium.
Once that ball took that second bounce, it looked like Munson was out of play, and the only man could make it was Figueroa, and he couldn't get a grip on it. This is Reggie Smith. Smith, 3 for 13. He's driven in a run. 295 on the season. Got a big gap to shoot through between first and second. They've been testing Munson. Figueroa has a slow delivery, so they'll be able to get a pretty good jump on him.
Figueroa, a pitcher we mentioned at the first game he pitched, has been accused of having a balk move. That left knee or the left shoulder. It's something that the base stealers will watch very closely, and the umpire.
Outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
There's a good shot, Joe and Tom, of exactly what the base stealer is seeing. What he is looking for, the feet, the knee, the left shoulder, the turn of the head, anything that will tip something off that he can grab and maybe steal.
Outside, 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out.
Many people think that baseball is really kind of a catch-as-catch-can business. Scouts that go around watch other teams will time a pitcher's delivery, how long it takes for him to set up from that position right there and then deliver the ball. It'll take X amount of time, and they'll want to know that. So when they go back to their own teams and say, we can run this man and this man against this certain pitcher.
2 balls and 1 strike. Gene Mock, who manages Minnesota, was the first I ever heard talking about that with the timing.
Did a whole study. Pitcher's first move to the catcher, and then how long it took the catcher to get the ball before it got to second base.
3 balls and 1 strike. Figueroa behind Reggie Smith, who takes a look at Preston Gomez. You know he's hitting. What he wants to know is Russell running? Some hitters don't like that. They just want to concentrate. You heard Reggie Jackson talk about how on that strikeout by Welch that he lost his concentration when Bucky Dent broke. Russell's going. Ball 4. Reggie Reggie Smith draws a base on balls, so it's base runners at first and second, one out. And here is Steve Garvey, who is 4 for 12.
Just saw something I've never seen a third baseman do. Greg Nettles, because Bucky Denton was covering second base, as soon as the ball was thrown to the hitter, Smith, Nettles almost ran to cover the shortstop hole. I've never seen a third baseman do that before. It was just an amazing thing to see.
There he is. Garvey, who has yet to drive in a run. Outside, ball one. Figueroa was pretty much his pattern in that first game. We look at Reggie Smith at first and Russell's at second. Right field, Pinella coming in. He's got it. They're going to have a double play. Second base, that's what they want to do, and now they finally go there. So the double play goes 9.
This could, that American League umpire could make a difference in this game to Tommy John.
As it's a strike, the first base umpire, he said, look at Blair, he said it all. Frank Pulley said, that's enough. Not talking no more. You saying he's not going to get the low strike today?
You see that pitch?
I differ with you. I want to talk more to you about this.
2 strikes.
Bobby Mercer, other guys who've gone from the American League to the National League, have said it's still about the same, about 50-50. You've still got some umpires who are basically low ball umpires or breaking ball umpires or high ball or inside or outside. I think it's the individual umpire more than the league.
And he's hit. Nobody will get Blair on a ball like that. He's got the base hit, but he's still talking with Pulley for that strike.
Here's an example of a sinker. Paul Blair hits the ball right down into the ground with a very good speed. Hager has no chance on this play. Just pick it up, give it back to the pitcher, go to the second hitter, Roy White.
So I thought Davey Lopes made an interesting observation when Tommy John pitched a great ball game against Philadelphia in the championship series. That was an artificial surface in Philadelphia. Lopes said, I would rather have, there's Davey, rather have Tommy John an artificial surface because you always get a true hop. Here you don't know what's going to happen.
There goes Blair. Lopes' only play is at first base. White is out, but he moves the runner along. So there's one away, and it brings up Thurman Munson. Munson is 2 for 12.
So Bob Lemon continues to start base runners. He's done it almost all series long when the score has been closer. He's been ahead. With Randolph out with a bad leg, he's one of the base-stealing threats. Rivers out. He knows he's going to have to start runners because he doesn't have the steal threat anymore.
Outfield is not very deep for Munson. Out of play. They look very shallow to me as you look at them. Look how close north is the second base.
I've got to believe the scouting report has gotten around about Munson's shoulder. Even though he hit that real long drive in the championship series in this ballpark to left center against Kansas City.
Here's the throw. They're going to get him. They got him.
Oh, did he block it?
He blocked it beautifully. Once that ball took one hop, that was a room service throw by Reggie Smith. Catchers love that. He just put the block on him, and Blair was out. A beautiful throw, a great tag.
You made a good point, Joe, when you talked about the outfield playing a little more shallow. Blair does not cut the base well. He goes toward the dugout, and Yeager puts that left foot right there, gives him the shin guard, takes the plate away. I'll tell you what, he's taking more of the plate away than most catchers do. He got away from it, just jammed Paul Blair up. Great throw.
Most of the time, watch this throw, most of the time they'll give you half the plate, but that one hopper, his leg is taking all the plate away, and Blair could not get in unless he bowled him over. And he chose not to, and it was a kind of a tag that catchers love to make. So there are 2 outs, and here is Reggie Jackson. coming in. Somebody like that Dave Parker would hit you like the 5:15 leaving Grand Central. Inside to Reggie Jackson. 2 balls, no strikes. Munson's at first. 2 outs, no score. We've had 2 real good plays so far. There's the strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. For the 4th game, it'll be Jim Beattie against Burt. The 5th game, Beattie against Hooten. It's 4 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be right here.
Joe, in the first ball game, there was one series, or one time at bat, that Tommy John pitched Reggie high and tight, which is unusual for John. He usually stays down. I wonder if you do it in Yankee Stadium with that short fence in right field.
Watch for it. Side, 3-1. Boy, here's where this guy will crank up. Now you go to pitching. You can't go to throwing.
He had 2 shots at him, Joe. It was 2-0, and now it's 3-1. Anytime you give good hitters a chance to hit with those counts, you got to be in trouble.
Pulled it foul. Now it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, no score.
But to remind Reggie, the runner's going to be going here now.
That's right. It broke his concentration last time. Garvey drops way back. There he goes. Bouncing ball to Garvey. Taking himself. That ends the inning. I always look forward to spotting it from the air. It's a beautiful sight. You get kind of a preview as we zoom in with our creepy. Center field. Where is he? Boy, he's way up there. Corey's liable to go anywhere.
There he is.
There he
way
is.
Over there. He's on top of that big building over there.
There's his shot.
My goodness. Boy, that's the cheap seats up there, isn't it? Look how far away he is.
Take a cab to get back. Paul Blair, we're waiting for Paul Blair. There you see him running out once again. He's had some problems with glasses, and I think that last tag may have necessitated some repairs. He had to go to pits.
I'll bet the players, Blair and the left fielders today, are happy that there's a little cloud cover, because this is a rough park in left field with the sun at this time of the year, and then it creeps over to dead center field. Right in his eyes.
Ron Say leads it off. He's 3 for 10 with 1 home run. He has driven in 4 runs. Strike 1. He had a good cut at a fastball.
Figueroa is the kind of pitcher, Tom, once he established the breaking ball, he threw a few in that first inning, that when they start looking for it, he can bust you inside high and tight, cross the seam fastball, and sneak it by you at times. He's got to mix them up.
1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out, nobody on. Top of the second, no score.
He can be a little sneaky, Tony. You know, he short arms the ball, and by that I mean he keeps his elbow in by his side as he delivers the ball more than another pitcher would. But in the first inning, he was high, was getting behind the hitters. He's 2-1 on Ron Say now. And the guy that doesn't throw real hard, it's tough for him to pitch and be effective that way. Now he's 3-1. Just the point I made about Tommy John pitching to Reggie Jackson, 2-0 and 3-1. Anytime you run the count to 3-1 or 2-0, the hitter has the advantage. He can be so selective, and if he gets his pitch, he can crunch it.
He got it, he crunched it. Base hit, center field. Ron Say, a good pitcher, will stay ahead of the hitters, obviously, and a good pitcher can also throw something besides his fastball in the strike zone when he's behind those hitters. Because I don't care how fast you are, there are guys in this league, you couldn't shoot a ball by them. Here's Dusty Baker. Baker is 5 for 10. Nobody out. 1 man on. No score. There goes Say. Foul out of play. Boy, that's kind of an odd couple to play hit and run with, isn't it?
They're going to test Thurman Munson's arm any way they can. And, of course, with Figueroa not overpowering, as Tom Stevens indicated, they know they can get a piece of the ball. Did you see the lump on Thurman's right shoulder. He's got a lump that sticks out about 3 inches. I think it's a partial separation.
It's about a 2-inch hump he's got there. That's just a commercial. Not a good move. One strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. When you're playing under the handicap that Munson is and everybody's running, but the only thing you can do is pitch out and hope that you're right and put some doubt in their mind that you got their signs, and then maybe a little bit of confusion. They can switch him and it hardly stops him.
Thurman's one catcher who doesn't like to pitch out a whole lot. He doesn't like, especially with that arm, he doesn't like his pitcher to get behind. He just kind of come see, come say, hey, if they steal, they steal. I might not be able to help it.
He's got to do something because he's almost like a starter at the track meet. He gets the ball and they run. It's popped up in the infield. Dan looked at Stanley. Now Bucky's going to take it. Good thing that thing was way up there. See him smiling. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is 14 Country. Number 16.
Joe Garagiola here along with Tony Kupek, Kurt Gowdy, Tom Seaver. Yankee Stadium. Game 4. Rick Mundy, the batter. There's 1 man out, 1 man on, no score. We're in the 2nd inning. Outside, ball 1. Tony, why would there be confusion on such a routine Little League fly ball?
One of those right around second base, and each looked at the other, thought the other was going to get it, then it drifted more toward Dent. You want to help each other out there. You want to go for everything you can get unless you're waved off.
Misses outside, 2 balls, no strikes. And here we go again, 2 balls, no strikes. It's almost a cliche now, but pitching behind like this is like checking your gas tank with a match. Outside, 3-0. Look at Monday, those hitters, they just drool. You can see it running down the sides. Look at those eyes, looking for that hit sign.
The pitcher winds up to throw the ball in there. When they're way ahead, the hitter winds up. It's like they're just getting ready to drive the ball.
Ball 4, second base on balls, given up by Figueroa. It moves Say down to second. Monday's at first, and Billy North is the batter.
And out pops Bob Levin. He's going to have a chat right now with the starting pitcher, Ed Figueroa.
I know a couple things Tony is going to talk to him about.
What?
You go down the list. He's 3-2 on Lopes. Russell at the first pitch. He's 3-1 on Smith. 1-0 on Garvey. 3-1 on Say.
Dick Tidrow starts warming up now for the Yankees.
2-0 on Monday. Exactly what we've been saying. I mean, I've had it said to me 100 times.
What do you say,
can't
though?
pitch that way. You've got to get ahead of the hitters.
But you
throw strikes.
I say I'm trying.
Try harder.
I've heard pitchers
That's when you get chewed on a little bit once in a while, Joe. That'll happen out there, too.
That's what I wanted to bring out, that managers don't just go out there and pat you because you say, I try harder. Don't give me that try harder. Get some strikes and you're going to get some cold water.
Exactly right.
Here is Billy North. It's a strike. It worked, huh? It did on that pitch. There's really no great strategy that goes on. I mean, when Lemon went out there, the message was just a simple, get the ball over or you're going to get taken out of here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ron Say is at second base. Rick Mundy's at first. The frustration comes in when the pitcher's trying as best he can and can't get it over. Center field, Paul Blair going back. Say is tagging up. Let's see what happens. The tag, the throw, and Say heads for third. He'll make it easily.
Those of you have not seen much of Paul Blair. He goes back on the ball as well as anybody in baseball today in a number of years. The Yankee Stadium, this center field is made for him. He can play shallow, does not fear having the ball hit over his head. He gets the line drives, the little loopers, and he gives some base runners trouble because he charges balls so well and plays so shallow.
Tony, not as a put down. He's got two fellas alongside of him that he's never going to collide with either. Quinella and White, I mean, unless it's a rare occasion, he's going to have all kinds of room. That ball goes up, he's going to hear him hollering a lot of room. Here's Yeager. Outside. Munson ready. He's ready for anything.
There's another thing, too, Tony. White really plays deep, doesn't he? He is way back there.
Yeah. That's been a theory.
Very deep left field.
A theory in Yankee Stadium for a long time to cut down that alley in left center field and prevent the triples.
There's the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Second inning, no score. Say's at third. Monday is at first. Fouled out of play. What do you think, guys? He might try a double steal?
No, I don't think so. If it gets fouled up, take the bat out of Yeager's hand. Well, let's see. You've got a pipeline to top of the short, and he's one of your best pals.
I'd be looking for him. Lovely wife, Joe Lasorda, a bad throat watching the game from the hotel. Rooting for her man. Get better, Joe. Bob Lemon. Every time you talk to him, he wants to say hello to Mom. Two classy guys. Popped up. Rocky Bent.
See, Lou, what was he doing? That little dance at home plate? He's going to go out there and get a good look at Tommy John's sinker. That was something. Look at it.
What?
He's taking the ball. He's taking his hand off the bat.
He's taking all right. It looks like he's trying to fake him out like a basketball player. Like, I'm going out and get your sinker. Throw me a pitch inside. Look at this.
What would you do, Tom? Would that upset you?
No, he's making him throw strikes. What he's saying is you're gonna have to throw the ball in the strike zone before I'm gonna swing the bat. First 2 pitches, balls. And a ground ball.
Still got the ground ball. Say to Garvey, gets Quinella. Do what you want, and Tommy John just continues to throw those grub worms. Here comes the man of the hour, Greg Nettles. Nobody on, no score. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Ball 1, the curveball missed. Nettles is 2 for 12. He had 27 home runs during the regular season. Foul tip. Just didn't get the bat. Indicated by the umpire, Marty Springsteen. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Missed the outside corner. 2 balls in the strike. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Joey made a point earlier about Ed Figueroa looking down at the ground before he delivers, and different style Tommy John. Never takes his eye off the target. Watch him. Watch his head. He's always right there in the strike zone.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Hitters like that because they feel like the pitcher knows where they're standing. But I'm sure for concentration, that's the best way. I never could understand why pitchers look to the ground or look around. Bouncing ball. Lopes. Easy out.
Pitcher look at the ground for balance. The pitchers in the windup, if they keep their head up, seems at least I know I do because I look at the ground. If I keep my head up, I feel like my balance goes too far to my back leg. If I keep my head down, curled, I feel my shoulders stay curled.
Do you look at a particular spot? Just keep.
No, I don't look at anything. Just keep my head down and look down at the ground somewhere.
Here's Chambliss. Strike on the outside corner.
I've tried keeping my head up, watching the target all the time, but I find that I start leaning backward. That's not very good for my style.
Just missed, 1-1.
The guys who look down never bothered me. It's the guys like Louis Tiant or the young kid from Toronto, Victor Cruz, who look at the clock in center field. That's what upset me.
1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Gene Garver down in Atlanta.
Oh,
did the
yeah.
same thing. It drive you crazy, wouldn't it?
2-1 pitch. Ground ball. Bill Russell. In time. 3 grounds. Takes the pitch outside. Ball 1. High. Ball 2. Lopes flied to right his first time up. 2 balls, no strikes. Lopes 4 for 14 with 2 home runs. That's 17 during the regular season. Big year for Davey, his best as far as home runs. Look at that! Oh! Look at Davey Lopes. He's talking to himself. Nettles is playing left up, even with a bat, looking for a possible bunt. You want to see some reflexes. This is an absolute bullet. I can see a guy catching a ball like that right at him. They are just showing that play on the replay board up here in Yankee Stadium. The same thing we're showing you right now. That is an amazing glove. Eddie Vargo is even at the chair. Outside, ball 1. Davey Lopes hit that ball. Looked, couldn't believe it. They just well try somebody else. Boy, I tell you, with greatness, sure he loves it because he knows he can do the job, but I tell you, there's a certain degree of humility with greatness. Fly ball. Stanley makes the play. Nettles coming in. Nettles has led this ball club in home runs. He's driven a lot of runs for this club, but he appreciates this, that you're going to see again, more than a home run or an RBI. Boy, he would have made some boxer with that quick left hand. You're talking double again right there. Double, yes, maybe triple if it rattles around that corner where White's playing. Here's Reggie Smith. Foul straight back. Reggie walked his first time up. I tell you, the Dodgers, I bet they're back on the bench and say, let's try somebody else. I think that fella can field. 2 strikes. That was the best pitch he made right there. Pretty hard fastball, Tom.
Pretty good fastball to a pretty good fastball hitter. That surprised me. He got that ball up, got the ball by him, too.
High and tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reggie Smith, nobody on, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 3rd. Game number 4. No score. He's throwing hard. He is throwing hard.
For some people that question Bob Lemon's choice of starting Figueroa, Kurt Gowdy talked to Lem earlier, as you saw in our pregame show, but he has to be able to pitch with some kind of pressure because he finished the regular season with an 8-game winning streak when the Yankees really had to come from behind, 14 games behind the Red Sox.
Foul back. Lemon puts everything in such simple terms. He said, hey, when a guy wins 20 games, you just don't dump him like that.
He won his 20th game on the second last day of the season, Joe. And if he had lost that, there never would have been a game in Boston.
Right.
And that was a pressure game for the Yankees, and he pitched it. Complete game.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reggie Smith. Concentration. Called out on strikes. Here is Fred Stanley. It's a strike. Two strikes, no balls on Stanley. Say, these Yankees almost identical against righties and lefties. Break it down, it's incredible. High. Against right-handers, they won 49, lost 31. That's a .613 percentage. Against left-handers, they won 51 and 32, a .614 percentage. It's pretty consistent. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Fritz Stanley.
See a lot of left-handed pitching in this ballpark, especially. They have their 4 left-handed hitters in the lineup.
Rick Hauser at third base lets it roll by. There he is. He'll be coaching at Florida State.
Pretty good infielder, too. Kansas City for a while, made some all-star teams.
But they had him, but it was too low, says Marty Springstead. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tommy John. Popped up. North in center field, taking charge.
They're making Tommy John work a little bit more than they did the first game, making him throw some strikes. You can see Piniella set the tone of that earlier in the ball game. I think all of the Yankees got together. There's Marty Springstead, the home plate umpire, got together and said, let's stay off the bad pitches if we can. The more you keep going out to reach out and hit the ball the opposite way, right-handed hitters, the farther Tommy John goes outside.
He's got good control. He has averaged 2.2 walks per 9 innings this season. So he throws strikes, and there's another one. 1 man out, nobody on. Bottom of the third, no score, game 4. Dodgers lead the series 2-1. Yankees won the ball game last night. Strike 2. Yeager really gives a low target. Get a good idea how John works now that he's way ahead with the count of 2 strikes. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That glove that Yeager's wearing supposed to be able to help the pitchers as far as control, being able to spot it a little better. It's that same material you see on the highway workers.
That's how the idea came, didn't it? Malchion Panis?
Right. There's the base hit. Bucky Dent rounds first, but he'll hold on with a single. The umbrellas start to pop out. They expect occasional showers, is what the weatherman said. It has gotten dark, the lights are on, sprinkles, but the fans came prepared. One man out, 1 man on. Thought something was on there. Ball 1. Paul Blair, the batter. He had an infield hit his first time up. Yankees have 3 hits. The Dodgers have 2. We have no score. Low, 2 balls and no strikes.
You would think that Lemon would try and do something here. They've got to get a run. You see the rain coming down. Managers in games where it's raining like this will try and get 1 run at least, because if the game gets into the 5th inning, one team's ahead, that falls back out of play. One team's ahead, they call the game. You got to try and get a run first. Get 1 run on that board, because play 5 innings and then it rains all day, you're going to win a ball game.
2 balls, 1 strike. Foul balls will really be a problem. There you see the commissioner on the telephone. Well, he's talking to the weatherman. And that is Bob Mulholland, NBC president in the dark suit, and that's Bill Simon, former Secretary of the Treasury. They're going to call time. They're going to cover it. Marty Springstead with a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Infield. Bill Russell taking charge and makes the play. So there are 2 away, and it brings up Roy White. The base runner is Bucky Dent. He's single. This inning began when Stanley flied to center field. Bucky Dent singled and a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. The rains came. It was 4:26. They covered the infield, came back, and on the first pitch, Paul Blair pops to Bill Russell. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. There are 2 outs, 1 man on. The batter is Roy White, who bounced out to the second baseman his first time up. I'm Joe Garagiola. Tony Kupek is making his way up. Tom Seaver is here. And Kurt Gowdy, our host, is on the field. It is a strike. Tommy John. side.
That's a long run up those steps. I want to tell you.
Gets you in shape, Tom. Gets you in shape.
I got down there. I helped Grody. He was doing the crossword puzzle while I was raising.
1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball foul. I know you were in the dugout. Did you get to the clubhouse?
Got to the clubhouse a little while. The guys were in the training room watching on TV.
What kind of feeling was it down there?
Middle of the ball game. They know Tommy's pitching real well. They think they'll get to Figueroa.
Right side. Reggie Smith has plenty of room. Smith makes the play. That reads
To Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, right probably about 6 or 7 games to go before he got tuned up again.
Apparently it was nothing serious, just a change of socks, although when I saw that wrapping, it looked like he had a very serious injury. But the way he's pitching, he has allowed the Yankees 3 hits. Figueroa has allowed the Dodgers 2 hits. We're 0-0 as we're going to the top of the 4th. And Steve Garvey, who hit with that double play in that first inning, is a hitter. The man on first and second, Garvey flied to right. Pinella threw to Chambliss. Reggie Smith got back, but they got Russell, who was already rounded third. Foul back. So it was a 9-3-6 double play. A weird one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. 0-0. We're in the 4th. 2 balls and a strike. High, 3 balls and a strike. I tell you, when Kurt was talking about Jimmy Esposito, the head groundskeeper, talking about this field could take a lot of water, that infield just looks perfect. Doesn't even look like it rained. We had a 40-minute delay if you're just joining us. Garvey draws a base on balls. That's the 3rd walk given up by Figueroa, and it brings up Ron Say.
What you might have now, Joe, with the outfield wet, of course, it is not covered, that some of the Dodgers especially will be trying for the extra bases. The ball will be slippery. It will slow down as it goes through the infield, and the outfield grass when it reaches it. There's White deep in left field, as he usually is.
Ron Say has one of the 2 hits. The other one was an infield hit, a bunt by Bill Russell. 4 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern Time. Bert Hooton against Jim Beattie, Game 5. Ball 1, inside. See Figueroa kind of checking that dugout. There goes Garvey. Here's the throw. It hit the runner. Stanley made a tremendous play. I thought it hit the runner. I don't know how he got that ball, Tony.
He didn't know he had it either. We'll watch it again. He got blocked out, it looked like, from Garvey. Munson gets a tough ball to throw on, inside and high. Garvey had it beaten. Munson did not get anything on the throw. And somehow Stanley got his glove on the ball. Here it is another way.
Good play by Stanley and a good block, and watch him now here. Try and let Garvey get off the bag.
It's an excellent play because you've got to realize if the ball does sneak through, you can see Dent would not have been there in time to back the play up. He had to hold his position on the steal as Stanley was covering. Would have meant the ball, if it had gone into center field, Garvey with a come-up slide is on third base with nobody out.
I tell you, there's nobody in this ballpark, unless you're watching the monitor, got a better view of that play than those 4 angles. That's out of play. You could see that Garvey was actually screening Stanley. And that's why I thought the ball hit him. But as I watched it on the replay, he made a tremendous play. Good work by our camera crew.
Is that what is known, I read in our NBC book, as 4-point isolation coverage? That's kind of fancy, but is that what that means? 4 different angles?
Could be. Just great shots. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Say. Bouncing ball. Dent holds the runner, fires the first. Say is out. 1 out.
How tell you, 2 balls and 1 strike ahead of the pitcher. That isn't something that Ronnie Shea wanted to do. He could have picked this pitch. He tried to go the opposite way, I believe, but he turned that top hand over a little bit and pulled the ball too much. The Yankee infielders are very steady. Neither Dent nor Stanley cover a heck of a lot of ground, but they don't miss too many.
Dusty Baker is the batter with 1 man out. No score. We're in the top of the 4th. It's always a big battle when that man's on second, and you know that batter's going to the right side. Fouls it back. Some guys can hit that inside pitch to the right side. Some guys wait for the ball. It's out away from them. It's really an individual thing, isn't it?
As a pitcher, you have to decide where a hitter's strength is for going the other way. Certainly don't want that runner at third with 1 out. Most of the time, breaking ball is the pitch you want to throw and get the hitter out in front and make him pull the ball to the left side.
1 strike pitch. High and tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Garvey's at second base. No score. High fly ball. Roy White, left field. Garvey is tagging up at second. He'll head for third. Catch is made. There goes Garvey. He'll make it easily.
The Dodger right-handed power hitters are finding out something very quickly about this ballpark. The workout before yesterday's game, or the day before yesterday's game, Davey Lopes took 1 swing, hit it about 390 feet to left center, and he said, "I'm going to my Maury Wills stroke." Punching away at the ball. No way I can get one out in left field.
Rick Monday, the designated hitter. He walked his first time up. 2 men out. Strike. No score. Top of the 4th. Monday checking Figueroa. High and tight. Boy, some hitters really give you the evil eye when they're looking.
Figueroa's job of pitching to Ron Cey is the big difference in the game right now. If Cey had hit the ball to the right side, Garvey would have been the third and scored on Baker's sacrifice fly. As it is, the fly ball to Roy White in left field, Garvey only ends up on third.
There you see him. Nettles wide of the bag. Bouncing ball, foul. Foul ball. Chambliss was there.
Tom, did you see Yankee Stadium before they refurbished it? I'm sure you did. And shortened the fences. This is still a good pitcher's park, but at one time it was just monstrous in left, right center, and dead center field.
I was here just 1 time, Tony. Great big in left center, and that's, as we've talked about it, no man's land out there. Death Valley, 430 feet to left center field. And that's, you have a center fielder like Paul Blair, that's a pitcher's paradise. You just keep pitching inside to right-handers and away from left-handers, and they'll hit it out there all day.
High. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Usually when a pitcher walks into the ballpark, he looks at one section and says, this is the outfield. This is where I'm going to try to get most of my outs. Here in Yankee Stadium, you can go from right center to left center. A lot of room out there to get that big fly ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Garvey at third. No score. Popped up. Left field. Roy White giving it a chase. Everybody running hard. White makes it. Down goes Nettles. Brother, did he cover a lot of ground.
Nettles had to be 250 feet away from home plate when White caught that ball. Watch him go. He turns his back like a great center fielder would. He keeps throwing. Now, he doesn't hear White. With a left-handed hitter, White was playing a little bit toward left center field. A near collision. And Nettles landed hard on that right shoulder. Very hard. He's walking off the field very slowly. He is stunned a little bit, Joe.
I believe he is. They'll be checking with him. So, at the bottom of the 4th, no score.
White comes in, and it looks like White may have hit Gregg in the face with his elbow. See, as they go by there, that's possible, because after the inning was over, Gregg went in, was holding his jaw as he was going down up the runway to the clubhouse. Now, here it is again.
Watch also, after he gets clipped in the side of the face, by the left elbow. Well, I don't see it.
When he hit the ground.
When he hit his right shoulder, that has been a sore shoulder for Nettles. Last year, you might recall in the championship series against Kansas City, when Nettles stood hard into Brett, Nettles' right shoulder was injured. He has never thrown quite as well. And it's hurt his throwing, and that's what he landed on again.
And Roy White was checking his elbow, but apparently everything's all right. You followed him into the dugout, although Nettles went to the clubhouse. At any rate, we're in the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Thurman Munson to lead it off. Reggie Jackson and Lou Piniella. Munson, the single to right, his first time up. Yankees came close to scoring in their first inning, but a throw by Reggie Smith to Steve Yeager, a fine play, nipped Paul Blair at the plate, and that's been the closest we've come to a score. Outside, ball one. Thurman Munson. There's the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Nothing. 2 balls in the strike.
Tom, I think the Yankees are doing something interesting. Piniella did it earlier when he was obviously taking 1 strike. And I think what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we're going to look like we're taking, and if he does start coming in just to throw a strike and get it up, they're going to jump all over it. I think he's probably too smart to fall for it.
3 balls in the strike. He's been ahead of most of the hitters, but he's behind the Munson 3-1. He hasn't walked anybody. He's allowed 3 hits. First base on ball, given up by Tommy John. Puts Munson on, brings up Reggie Jackson. Red G is the chant here at Yankee Stadium. Reggie bounced out to Garvey unassisted his first time up.
No pitch.
He's going to go back. Got to go back.
Second base umpire Joe Brinkman of the American League picked something up. Don't know what it was at this point. I think there's an object right over in foul territory by the third baseline. A ball was thrown from the stands, and Brinkman called no pitch as soon as the ball hit the ground.
It starts all over again. Reggie Jackson. RBIs 97. Jim Rice, look at that, 139. Staub, Heisel, Andre, Thornton 105. Baylor 99. Cardi. Amazing story there.
We end up with 30 home runs too as the DH. 31 home runs, Alan.
Bill Bueller, the trainer, is coming out to talk to Yeager, and now he's going out and giving Tommy John a stick to clean his shoes. While he does that, let me tell you, this telecast, presented by authority of Major League Baseball, is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience in any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited.
What a great day, Joe, for that pitch that Whitey Ford was taught by Lou Burdett and Warren Spahn, the old mud ball.
What would he do? Put it in the seams?
Oh, he'd get a little wet on it. As he went down to reach for the rosin bag, he'd jam it into the dirt, pick a clump of mud up you like you never saw.
And then he threw the pitch, and he could skywrite with it, do whatever he wanted. No balls, no strikes. Reggie Jackson.
I don't think you guys like pitching.
And you guys don't do it now. That's why we don't care anymore.
Lead by Munson. Bouncing ball foul. Checking the baseball. Gene Michael. Throw it out. No balls, 1 strike on Reggie Jackson. Nobody out, no score. A 40-minute rain delay. Munson at first. Ball, 1 strike. Garvey playing behind the runner Munson, and Davey Lopes is shifted into the hole. Russell is way over. Jackson there, you figure, is going to be trying to pull everything.
outside. 2 balls and a strike. John's been behind more Yankee hitters this time than he was the last time out. So difficult to be patient up there like Tommy John because his ball starts about mid-thigh, and by the time you notice between the knees and the ankles, looks good till right at the last. It's a late breaking sinker.
John behind Reggie Jackson. Nobody out. Munson at first, no score. Tough pitch coming up. Strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A delayed call by Marty Springstead, but it's a full count. Munson, a good lead at first. Here he goes. Struck him out. Yeager cannot make the throw. He dropped the ball, and Munson is on at second base. A stolen base for Thurman Munson as Jackson goes down on strikes. There's something about this 3-2 pitch that handcuffed Steve Yeager. Don't know what it was, but it's low. It sinks an awful lot. He just can't seem to get it. He was surprised by Munson. He went after it with one hand, and there it goes. It slipped right out of his hand. He just didn't get a grip on it, Tony. He backhanded the ball and was never sure with that big glove where the ball was, and when he went to grab it, he just couldn't find it.
Well, with one hand, didn't he, though? That big glove with that hinged glove that catchers use now.
Well, you can get lost inside the glove for 2-3 days. One out. Pinello pulls it foul. Munson is on at second base. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. 0-3-0 Yankees. There's Munson. A good base runner. Chase the bad ball, and it's strike 2.
That's 2 bad balls in a row, Joe. Now, Pinello walked up there last time and did a little ballet step, telling Tommy John that he's going to have to throw strikes. The first ball looked like it was out of the strike zone, and that looked like a sinker. Down and in out of the strike zone, and then all of a sudden he's 0-2.
Say to his left, nice play, holds the runner, fires to Garvey, and Pinelli is out.
Never threw a strike to him either. None of those pitches were in the strike zone. And Pinello showed him the first time up that he had to throw the ball in the strike zone before he was going to swing, and Lou is hot. He just fired his helmet in the corner of the dugout.
Brings up Greg Nettles. Crowd still remembering last night when he put on a fielding clinic here. I think a pitcher's best friend, Tom, is a hitter's imagination. A hitter starts to imagine and gets to thinking too much, the momentum swings to the side of the pitcher. That was Casey Pinella. They had him played perfectly. Russell waits for it, fires to Garvey. That ends the inning. So at the end of 4 complete innings, it's the Dodgers nothing, the Yankees nothing. And for the Dodgers coming up, we have Billy North, Steve Yeager, and Davey Lopes. Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek, Kurt Gowdy, and Tom Seaver here at Yankee Stadium. And what a ball game we have. The Dodgers, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. The Yankees, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. A real battle as we look at Lasorda between Ed Figueroa and Tommy John.
Tommy Lasorda, no wins, 4 losses in the major leagues. But he did pitch one time in Yankee Stadium, the City Series. No Brooklyn Dodgers. Walter Alston brought him in as we now look at the Yankee bench. Walter Alston brought him in, and Tommy got to the mound, and he had tears in his eyes, and Alston couldn't believe it. He said, "I finally made it." But since then, he's become a Dodger fan. North, Yeager, Davey Lopes to face Ed Figueroa. North fly to center field. Another time up. 1 ball. Billy North, the bunt threat, especially from the left side. Runs so hard, as you saw earlier in the series, when he made a double on Roy White. 1-1. Ed Figueroa, Tom, has been a little bit of of a late bloomer, really, as a pitcher, hasn't he?
Seems to be even in this game today, Tony. He started, I didn't think he was pitching well at all early. Getting behind the hitters, etc. In the last couple innings, he has been pretty sharp. He threw a lot to it. One inning, he threw real hard.
2 balls, 1 strike. Could be tough play for Dan. He's going to have to get it over in a hurry, but he does. He gets Bill Rupp. 2 balls, he should get by that side of the infield, Greg Nettles.
I think Figueroa had a little extra. Watch North lose his balance when he swings. He's falling back, and he got a slow start. That ball had a little more on it than he thought.
So now it's Steve Yeager. No score in the ball game, just 5 hits. The Yankees at 3. We're in game number 4 of the 1978 World Series. The Dodgers lead it 2-1 over the Yankees. One ball. Tomorrow's pitchers, young right-hander Jim Beattie for the Yankees, a Dartmouth graduate, against another right-hander with a knuckle curve, Bert Hooton. 2 balls and no strikes to Yeager. Thurman Munson. See, another catcher, as most do, with that finger out, gives them that extra layer of padding for some hard throwers. They'll protect their hand. Could be trouble in right center field alley on the 2-0 pitch. Pinella's chasing it down. Yeager will try for 2. He'll get it easily. The relay comes in to Stanley, but Yeager holds up at second base. So the Dodgers in a threat with the leadoff hitter, Davey Lopes, coming up.
That's the problem again, Tony, of pitching behind, and we've talked about it for 3 innings, and I hate to beat a dead horse. Here's you see the drive by Yeager going between Paul Blair and Lou Piniella in right center field for an easy double. If you continue to pitch behind, and it's just a basic fundamental of pitching, and pitching is 95% of the game or 85% of the game, whatever percentage you choose to pick, but you have to stay ahead of the hitters. There's just no way to be successful in the long run if you don't.
Well, if inflation is hit pitching like everything else, it's 95%, Tom.
Dave Lopes with 1 out.
Like the point we made in the opening game out in Los Angeles. Pitching, you never have enough. Remember you talked about the Yankees, right? You never have enough. And this is a club, like you said, just seemed to have more than enough.
Dave Lopes fly to right in the first inning. He lined to third baseman Nettles, who made a sensational play, robbing him of a double. 2 balls, no strikes to Lopes. No score in the ball game. We're in the top of the 5th.
There are many theories on pitching everybody talks about, but simply put, it's keeping the batter off stride and throwing strikes.
Yeager at second base for the Dodgers. 2-0 count on Lopes. No score. 3-0.
Last time Lopes was up there, it was 2 balls and no strikes. He hit that line drive down to Nettles, remember?
Well, we'll have to see the way Lopes has been swinging the bat. 2 home runs in that first ball game of the World Series in L.A. if Tommy Lasorda let him go at it. He was taking 3-1. Threw a breaking ball, didn't he?
Yep.
3-0 breaking ball. First base is open. Russell, there is Dick Tidrow. Allie Howard with the jacket. He missed outside, another slider or curveball. So the Dodgers have runners at second and 1 at first in Lopes, and it'll bring up Bill Russell. Figueroa one time belonged to the Mets, Tom, way back when, 1966.
Yes, he did. This is Figgy's 12th year in professional baseball. Started in the Mets organization in '66, and they released him in 1968. He was picked up by the Giants as a free agent, and he was traded. Spent some time in Vietnam.
Bill Russell with a runner in scoring position pops this one foul, 1 strike.
Giants, excuse me, Tony, the Giants traded him to the Angels along with Mickey Rivers. Came over to the Yankees for Bobby Bonds in 1975.
Lopes checking the surface as we look at Yeager now at the bottom of your screen, but Lopes was checking the area, the breakaway path around first base, see what kind of start he can get. 1 strike, 1 out. Chopper hits Russell, dead ball. So Russell drops way behind. No balls, 2 strikes to Figueroa. Davey Lopes. man who's played such inspired baseball in this World Series through the championship series. Maybe, along with the rest of the Dodgers, have dedicated this World Series to the late Jim Gilliam. There's Bob Lemon. 2-strike count on Russell. He hits it deep to left field, but it is going to go foul. Just barely.
Cut that ball up, boy, and he went for the top limb.
Wasn't a good pitch. No balls and 2 strikes that Figgy just threw.
Figueroa is way ahead in the count. Got the ball up in the strike zone. Wow. That's not a very good 0-2 pitch.
See, now after going high and tight, the old baseball axiom, now go low and away with a breaking ball. Let's see what Figueroa does. 2 men on for the Dodgers. Fastball. Bad pitch to Russell went after. He really cut it loose. Got a little extra. So there are 2 outs. And now it'll bring up the dangerous Reggie Smith. Smith has walked. He was called out on strikes. No score in the ball game. Each team has 3 hits. Yeager's at second. Lopes is at first with 2 down. A high 1 ball. The outfield played Reggie Smith very deep. Paul Blair has swung around just a shade toward right center field. He got a little run as a deep to left. Manella with a warning track. 3-run home run for Smith.
Blown inside. He really uppercuts it, and he stayed right with it. That perfect follow-through, and he knew it was gone. He's looking at it right now. Steve Garvey. 2-0 to Garvey.
Davey Lopes get those great reactions out in Dodger Stadium. Watch him again. Here he goes. Yes, there. He says, that's gone. That's 3 runs.
2 balls and 1 strike. Figueroa now getting some pitches up in the strike zone. Reggie Smith finds that short porch in right field attractive, as most left-handed hitters do. So there are 2 outs, a 3-1 count on Garvey. Make that 2-1. Dodgers lead 3-0. Check swing fouled off. 2-2. Reggie Smith, a man who entered the last part of the season, the championship series, the World Series, with a bad virus. Started spreading it around other members of the club. He's been playing in a very much weakened condition. For a while, it looked like he got a little bit too far under that last pitch, but it sneaked in about 8 or 9 rolls in. Hit to right field. Now back to the warning track, but he's got it to the third out. But not before the damage is done by Smith. A 3-run home run to put the Dodgers in the head. Go to the last of the 5th here at Yankee Stadium. The score, the Dodgers 3, the Yankees nothing. Chris Chambliss drew up for the Yankees in the 5th. Brett Stanley. And then the shortstop. Information regarding the Ed Figueroa, Billy Martin situation. So, Curtis, what do you got for us?
Been down here in the stands and been back to home plate. I must have had 100 people, Tony, come up and ask me, where is Billy Martin? Billy Martin is in his apartment right now watching this game, and he's been watching a series on television. He said he didn't want to come to Yankee Stadium because it might be a distraction to the players. He's very unhappy with a report in a New York paper that he called Figueroa a gutless pitcher. He sent Figueroa a congratulations telegram on his 20th win, said he's all for him, and he wanted to clear that matter up. But Billy Martin will not be at the stadium during the series. He's home at his apartment watching it. And hundreds of fans around here have been asking me where he is. That's where he is. Okay, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Kurt. It's Chambliss, Stanley, and Dent. Popped up. Yeager out in front of home plate. 1 out. That telegram that Kurt referred to, Billy said, I guess he was on a hunting trip in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and he congratulated Ed Figueroa for his 20-game season. He said, I'm proud of you. I congratulate you. I know your countrymen, your fellow Puerto Ricans are proud of you because he became the first native-born Puerto Rican to win 20 games in the major leagues. So the purported feud between the two apparently has been overly exaggerated. 1 out, Stanley. He's flying to center field. Dodgers lead 3-0. Ball 1. Pitch to Stanley. Tommy John now runs the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I noticed when he came out of the dugout, Tom, that he was limping quite a bit. He showed that shot of his left leg, a little chopper. Good single to Harper Say. Good off balance throw to get Stanley. Fine play by Ronnie Say.
Tremendous play on both ends. It was a do-or-die play because he gets the in-between hop. He charges it here, tried to get it on the fly. He doesn't make it. Watch his play. It's a short hop, and now as he regains his balance, watch the stretch by Garvey. And not only does he stretch, he gets the glove out there. Here's another angle on it. That was a tough play, Tony.
You can see right there the way Say got started, that he, although he is not that fast, he was very quick. That first step was off like a sprinter. 1 ball, no strikes to Dent. Dent has a single in the ball game. Ground ball again. Nice play by Ron Say. He's stealing some of Greg Nettles' thunder to get Bucky Dent. So 2 consecutive fine plays by the Dodger third baseman Ron Say helps Tommy John. So 5 are gone here in Yankee Stadium. The Dodgers lead over the Yankees 3-0. Coming up, it'll be Ronnie Say who made the 2 good plays in the 6th. Dusty Baker sees NFL football action tomorrow afternoon.
Tony, on this play, it was a great play by Say, but watch how Garvey stretches out and gets his glove out there and makes the play. The reason I say that, I've seen first basemen stretch, and then they got the glove right next to their chest, so the stretch is 3 feet, and they lose it when they keep the glove close. Here's the replay again. That's the last out. Say, as you said so well, he took a page out of Nettles' book.
Ed Figueroa has been replaced by the right-handed sinker baller Dick Tidrow. Oh, did you see the movement on that ball?
See Thurman's reaction?
never saw that one before.
Not bad. He says, we'll use that one in the game.
So that kind of movement on the ball is tough. Tidrow can scare some right-handed hitters out of the batter's box. He comes from the side, and he's basically the kind of pitcher that tails the ball in to right-handed hitters, sinks at times, and throws a sidearm curve and comes up on top a little more times and throws a slider.
Fire a screwball on you once in a while, too, Tony. Big, heavy sinker and a screwball. Very effective and a very valuable member of the pitching staff here for the Yankees this year.
He pitched the first ball game in Los Angeles, hitting in 2/3, gave up 2 hits, 1 run. One of those earned, the only run was earned, struck out 1. There are his season stats: 7-11, pitching as a starter, short relief, long relief. 25 of his 31 appearances during the season were as starters. And he'll face Ron Say, Dusty Baker, Rick Monday, with the Dodgers leading in this ball game in the 6th, 3-0. Tommy John, the starter in this ball game for the Dodgers. He pitched game number 1. The starter wanted to see him get 3 starts if this game, this series goes 7 games. Say has singled to center field and grounded out to short. One ball on Ron Say. Say looks like the kind of hitter to me, Tom, who likes the ball inside part of the plate, especially when he's hit. He looks like he gears himself. I don't mean way up and in with a good fastball pitcher, because he likes to pull the ball.
You can see how he turns his hips there, Tony. He does like the ball inside. You're exactly right. He likes the ball on the inside part of the plate. He wants to pull the ball, hit that long fly ball to left field out toward the 387 mark. He's got a lot of power. Not a real tall guy, short and stocky. very muscular, very strong arms and hands.
He'll
pop his hips at that pitch if he's going to turn on it.
He did. He got a breaking ball in, but it hooks. Wow. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He showed how strong he was in game number 2 when he drove in all 4 runs, one with a 3-run home run. Catfish Hunter got a breaking ball a little bit away. In fact, it was away but up. He just extended those hands, reached for it, and he pulled it to left center field. Pulled foul again past Preston Gomez.
You can see Thurman moving outside. They want to keep the ball away. The pitches look like they're coming back from the middle of the plate. But now watch Say turn and get the power of his hips. Throw your belly button right at the ball. That's one of the theories of hitting. Use those hips for power in those thighs.
Paul Wainer used to always say that. You hit with your belly button.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Ron Say. We're in the 6th. Dodgers lead 3-0. Reggie Smith, 3-run home run. Breaking ball inside by Wainer. So Say goes down and bring up Dusty Baker. He came to the side a little bit. I don't know if Ron Say gave a little bit on the ball, but it still stayed inside.
You know, sometimes a catcher can decoy a hitter. Now, Say was moving outside. He got the breaking ball inside, and it really fooled Ron Say. I don't know if Ronnie was peeking back and saw Munson moving outside, but possibility.
I'd be surprised if Tidrow wanted to throw him a breaking ball inside, or anybody. 1 out, Baker's up. Good pitch, right on the black, 1 strike. Baker had 3 base hits and a home run in the first game of the World Series in L.A. Full foul, 2 strikes on Baker. Dusty Baker, the man they said a while back when he was with Atlanta might be the replacement for Henry Aaron. There's an awful lot of pressure put on him down in Atlanta. He had an excellent year. And then he tailed off the following year. Tough to follow in the footsteps of a guy like Mantle, Clemente.
You know, organizations do that, Tony, and that's one of the things that I disagree with people saying, or the press saying, or publicity saying, this guy's going to replace Henry Aaron, this guy's going to replace Clemente. You don't replace those people. They're once in a lifetime. Those guys don't come along.
I was a 20-year-old kid in St. Louis. They said I was going to replace Walker Cooper, but they didn't tell me with what. I was supposed to fill his shoes.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. He gets Dusty Baker for the 2nd out. Right now, Kurt County, our cohort, is down on the field with a good vantage point. Curtis, can you hear us?
The answer is to see if somebody gets on here, Tony, because the scouting report on Dick Tidrow, he's got a big high kick. He can get a lead and run on him. Right now, nobody's got on. And incidentally, in that interview, Reggie Jackson was a prophet. He was afraid of Reggie Smith. Said, I'm scared of him swinging the bat, and he finally swung one.
Thank you, Kurt. Well, Reggie got them all, 3 runs. Dodgers 3, Yankees nothing. Rick Monday, 1 strike. Paul Blair will not have a shot at this one. So Monday's on with a base hit. We'll see now, although Monday is not a big base stealer, but with Billy North up, a left-handed hitter, Tommy Lasorda may once again test the arm of Thurman Munson and the high leg kick that you referred to, Kurt, of Dick Tidrow. North is flied out and grounded out. He's a switch hitter. Spent some fine years with the Oakland A's. With 2 strikes, but fouled it off. He wasn't wanting to sacrifice, obviously. He wanted to beat it out on Nettles. Nettles is the guy that tries to make eye contact with the hitters. He says that hitters tip it off. When he sees them look down at him, it's a tip-off. And he said, sometimes what I'll do is decoy him. I'll purposely move back a couple of steps and try and set the hitter up. How's that for confidence in your defense? There he is. Ground ball. Stanley, it's the big hop. Chambliss, 3 are gone here in the 6th. The score, the Dodgers 3, the Yankees nothing. And due up for the Yankees, it's Paul Blair, Roy White, and Munson. Right here, the fans are starting to hoot and holler for the Yankees. Paul Blair, Roy White, Thurman Munson to face Tommy John, who's riding a shutout into the last of the sixth. Allows us 3 hits. Sade creeping in. Did he check? No, he didn't. Marty Springstead calls the breaking ball a strike. Blair has singled on a hit and run. He got as far as third base off the bat of Munson, who singled to right. He's also popped up to short. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul Blair, an excellent bunter. In fact, sometime during our game of the week, Joe Garagiola has gone up to him and said, Paul, why don't you bunt for us? And he's bunt and beat it out in situations. Made Joe look good. Top foul.
He just takes good direction. I'll tell you, he's an underrated player.
Oh,
defensively, we know what he can do, but he's a pretty good hitter, and he does a lot of things to get on base, move runners around. When he makes an out, usually he'll move a runner, and he's a good player. I like him.
He got a big base hit in the championship series last year against Kansas City, the 5th game. Good snapping breaking ball from John. He gets Paul Blair, and they bring up Roy White.
You know, Tony, last night the story was Greg Netherlands here again today. And Tommy John, last time he pitched, of course, was the opening game of the World Series against the Dodgers. But 7 2/3 innings, they've 8 hits, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned, and he shut the Yankees out until the 7th inning. And here we are on the bottom of the 6th. He's given up only 3 hits and no runs.
He jumps ahead of Roy White. 1 strike. That's a tough pitch right there. That's the one where he starts it about a foot outside. He kind of comes around the plate and catches the outside corner. 2 strikes on White. Another one, he really snapped.
You know, he just plugs along. He just goes along, and he goes along, and he throws his strikes, and low strikes, ground ball, ground. They get a couple of hits, another ground ball out of the inning. Seems to upset him.
There's the sinker ball off the end of Roy White's hat.
He's one of those fellows, if you saw him on the sidelines throwing, you'd say, as we look at Bob Lemon, you'd say he doesn't have that good a fastball, but his fastball's alive, and it isn't the speed, it's where you put it.
Moving on the ball and where you put it. Another ground ball. Roscoe just out of his reach. So White's down with 1 out for the Yankees. And the big guys are coming up. The money players, Munson, and then Jackson. Should he do something?
You know, Tony, there's 3 elements. We were talking about where you put it. Joe's good comment. There's velocity, there's movement, there's location. And Tommy John is the prime example of the one thing that you need least of those 3 elements is the velocity. If you've got movement and location on your fastball, you can be a winning pitcher in the big leagues. And Tommy John, Randy Jones is another prime example of that fact.
I know, Tom, when you talk movement, you're not just talking sinking, sailing, taking off. You're also talking change of speed.
That's exactly right.
So 1 out. Munson's up. White's in first. The Yankees down by 3. A nice stop by Yeager. There's no one throwing at this time in the Dodger bullpen, but we see some stirring. A telephone call, I believe, is just being made. One ball, no strikes on Thurman. Chopped it. Another good sinker ball. 1-1. I said earlier that I didn't think Marty Springstead, the home plate umpire, had been behind the plate with Tommy John. And of course, Tommy John was in the American League, started off with the Cleveland Indians, then went to the White Sox. Springstead told me during the radio, yes, I had been behind the plate a couple of times with Tommy. But he said, really, he's changed. He said, that's why I've studied him so hard in his warm-up pitches. He sinks more, and he's got a better curveball. 2-1. 60,000 people in Yankee Stadium for game number 4 of the 1978 World Series. The Dodgers lead it 2-1 over the Yankees. That's in World Series games. Right here, they lead by the score of 3-0 over the Yankees. Change speeds a little bit on the sinker. 2-2.
He'll do that too, Tony. That's another good point. The sinker is not the same speed all the time. I think you've got it, and you'll throw it a little bit harder. The first pitch he threw to Munson this time up, he popped pretty good inside. Then he'll throw the sinker, and he'll throw the sinker a little bit slower, too. You never really get the timing down on his pitches.
Big pitch for John. Fouled off by Thurman Munson. Thurman, one of the best players in the American League, to go the other way. Reggie Jackson on deck. Should Thurman Munson keep something going? With just one out, Munson has been known to hit with some double plays. He wants time. I think he wants to have Tommy John wipe off. Wipe that hand off. Two balls, two strikes. 3-2. Terry Forster, the left-hander for the Dodgers. A hard throw, the man with a hard slider. In game one, he relieved Tommy John. Another former White Sox player. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lights at first, Munson the hitter. The Yankees trail by 3. We're in the last of the 6th. He walked. Is at first. Jackson represents the tying run in the last of the 6th. Reggie grounded out and struck out so far. One ball.
That was a great shot of Tommy John as he looked at second and then looked at Jackson. You could see him grit his teeth. He was going to throw that for a strike where he wanted it. A good study of concentration. Watch him.
Tillman on, 1-1 pitch. And high and tight. Reggie has gone to a little bit shorter back on Tommy John because he expects the ball in here. But he swings right through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Reggie. Look at the reaction from Yeager. Dodgers 3, the Yankees nothing. Oh, base hit, almost gets Thurman Munson. White will score, 3-1. Jackson keeps it going. They're moving on and moving out.
Reggie real well all day. He got that ball out over the middle of the plate. Reggie had a good swing in it, pulled it right in the hole, and the Yankees are on the scoreboard.
There it is, a typical home run swing, but he topped the ball a little bit. He shot a bullet through the infield, and Thurman Munson might have been able to go to third base if he did not almost get hit by the ball and almost go to his knees. So Lasorda leads. He's going to stick with Tommy John. There is Rick Roden, number 36. He has joined Terry Forster, the left-hander. So Pinella's up. He's down to the third twice. It's a 3-1 ball game, Dodgers. But the Yankees have been on first and second base. Very dramatic moment in Yankee Stadium once again. 1 ball. Munson at second for the Yankees. Reggie Jackson at first. He's had an RBI in every game in this series. 4 games, 6 RBIs. Well, right enough, they dropped the ball. Are they going to get 2? There, he threw it away. Going to hit Reggie. Hit Reggie. Confusion on the bases. Here comes Munson. He's going to score for the second run. There's a lot of confusion. The ball hit Russell's glove. It then hit the ground. Reggie Jackson was forced out, but then on a throw, that was the second out of the inning. on the throw to first base, they're saying the ball hit Reggie. It is a complicated play because Reggie is out of the play, and yet the ball might have hit him, scooted away, allowing Munson to score. That is Frank Pulley, the first base umpire in blue. He's with the National League. Joe Brinkman, the umpire from second base. He is in scarlet, and Lasorda wants a ruling. The entire Dodger team. Here it is, Joe.
Russell, now there's the force on Jackson right there, so Jackson's out of the play, and it hits him. He's right in line, and Jackson is thoroughly confused. He's still in first base. He doesn't know what to do. Piniella is entitled to the base unless they rule interference. Now here's the ball again. It's hit to Russell, who knocks it down, and now he steps on the back, forces Jackson. You saw the umpire motion safe. I'm sure it was on the ball it was hit. Nothing else, and they've got a meeting out there. Looks like an election coming up. There's so many people between first and second.
Now, a summit meeting out there is what they've got. Almost every Dodger's around there and all the umpires.
Look at that. Everybody is reaching for the ball, and finally,
I'll tell you what,
into it.
He let it hit him purposely, and I've got to believe they're going to, well, I don't know what they're going to do, but if it is ruled intent, I think, we'll have to check the rule, I think that they could rule that runner out, as he intentionally looked like he got in the way.
He was leaning, there's no doubt. We'll run it again, and you'll make up your mind. And Lasorda is really upset, and you can't say that you blame him.
Reggie Jackson, on our replay anyway, looked like he stuck that hip out to allow the ball to hit him purposely, which would have been the third out.
I don't think there's any question he did.
Watch this now.
Watch, he's confused. He doesn't know if he's out or whatever.
He can't watch the call.
He'll move into the ball, certainly. Now, the play before that, the line drive that was hit to Russell, he can't intentionally drop the ball. It's a judgment on the umpire's call of the play. He can't intentionally drop that line drive to set up the double play. It's a judgment play for the umpire, but he did. And Lasorda is livid. He is absolutely livid.
I'll tell you what, the football people have talked anyway about using replays. This is a play here, and we've got a much better viewpoint than the umpires do after showing you 3-4 different angles. But to me, it appeared that Reggie Jackson intentionally tried to deflect the ball, which appeared again, and I'm not hedging my bets, appeared to be a double play throw right there. When he throws this ball, Russell, that's the second out. Munson is rounding third in the meantime. Reggie now sticks the hip out. It would have been the third out when he deflected the ball by sticking the hip out. We think intentionally Munson would not have scored, but they've ruled it that Pinella's on first base. There should be 2 outs. They're changing the scoreboard now. But the score, the important thing, is now Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. A tough call for these umpires. They consulted among themselves, and now it's Nettles up with Pinella at first.
They're going to get it straightened out.
They still have just 1 out, Joe.
Can't be. Reggie Jackson was forced.
I'll tell you what, Pulley right now is calling.
It's got to be 2 outs.
Before a pitch is thrown, they may want to consult. It's got to be 2 outs.
It's got to be 2 outs. Because that's one of the things that compounded it. Jackson was actually out when Russell stepped on second. And Jackson leans into the play. Well, on a pregame show, we talked about arguments. Here it is, the first one.
Nettles. 1 ball. They still have just 1 out on the board. But Jackson was forced. And the ball hit to Russell. Nettles hits this one. Should be easy for Lopes. 4-3. They retire the side, but it's now Dodgers 3, Yankees 2, and we'll see Reggie Jackson again on this replay.
Now watch, that's calling the ball in play. Now look at Jackson. He sees it, and he leans over there. You can't blame him. He's out already, so what's the difference? What he tries to do, and he got by with it. It paid off. But it certainly looked like he leaned into it.
There's your score, 3-2 Dodgers versus the Yankees. The Dodgers lead.
Larceny, but watch now Bill Russell. You can see that he gets the ball, drops it to the ground. Now that looks like pretty intentional to me. That's my opinion. Now you can't do that. You can't decoy the runner, get the line drive, throw it into the ground in hopes of getting the double play. So I think we got a little bit on both ends.
You can let the ball hit the ground first and trap it.
If you want to. You can't let it line drive hit your glove and intentionally let it hit the ground.
Right.
Well, we had a rhubarb, and it's 3-2 Dodgers. Line drive foul. Tell you, Tom Lasorda really upset. Well, everybody. Big games. A lot at stake here. Bob Lemon. Strike two. The scoring on that play was an error to Russell, a fielder's choice, no RBI.
And an assist for Reggie Jackson.
Right. That's the score, top of the seventh. Yeager got a double in that fifth inning. It was on when Reggie Smith hit the home run. Takes it low for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. 3-2, Dodgers lead the Yankees in the seventh inning.
Munson really moving around, giving good direction to his pitcher here.
That is the third strikeout for Tidrow.
You can see before that pitch, Joe, he told him to get the ball down the strike zone, and he wanted his hand on top of the ball. Thurman, one of the best in the business at directing a pitcher. Telling him what he wants done with a pitch, where he wants it, reminding pitchers that they've got to stay on top of the ball, keep the elbow up or whatever. He's like a little general back there.
He knows his pitches so well that if they start to lose it, like he told Guidry, in the first inning he didn't have his good stuff. This is Davey Lopes. He's 0 for 2. He walked and was on when Smith hit the home run. Ball one. There he is. Right field. Piniella waiting. 2 outs. Chambliss, Stanley, and Dent will be the hitters in the bottom half of that seventh inning. Yankees trail by a run. 3-2. Dodgers lead. 2 outs, nobody on. Bill Russell beat out a bunt in the first inning, popped to the second baseman, and struck out in the fifth. It is low.
You see Thurman that
Backhand that ball.
He's waving to somebody in the upper deck. He is something back there.
Got the ball inside, pull foul. Reggie Jackson has knocked in at least 1 run in 8 consecutive series games. For this year, last 4 in 77. Foul back. And that ties Lou Gehrig's record. And this is Gehrig here throughout the first ball. Now you see Reggie Smith. He hit the 3-run homer in the fifth. Yankees came back with 2 in the bottom of the sixth, and that's how we stand. 1-2 pitch, 2 outs. Bill Russell. 2-2. More hits than any player in this series. Bill Russell. There's another one. Kurt Gowdy picked him before the series started, so he is really making. I mean, he talks about Reggie Jackson being a prophet. How about Gowdy picking him?
One thing about Russell, he doesn't walk much, he doesn't strike out much. He has excellent bat control. He doesn't try and pull the ball he might in situations. Goes the opposite way well. He protects Lopes, tough situations.
I wonder if he was just telling the coach to keep him there and don't be starting him. I want to get some free swings here. There are 2 outs. Let's not try any trick plays. He was motioning down to Preston Gomez, the third base coach. There's the Goose Gossage. A good cut of the fastball and fouls it back. Reggie Smith, he walked in the first inning, was called out on strikes in the third, hit a 3-run homer in the fifth. Out of play, strike 2. Now we'll see the battle of Tidrow and Munson against Reggie Smith. They've been pitching everybody away, and with 2 strikes, he'll be taking a shot at that outside corner. You can't take it for granted. You got to protect that plate. How do you like that pitch? He took something off.
Yeah, it was a screwball, I think, Joe. Got Reggie way out in front. Reggie, good left-handed fastball hitter. Got good screwball. Got him out in front. Good strikeout pitch in that situation. Protecting the plate. Doesn't want to get the fastball by him. Almost got it.
Way inside. He set him up with that screwball and was about to saw that bat off in his hands.
Pretty good comeback pitch right there.
Yes, sir.
That's the extra pitch that Tidrow needed to get left-hand hitters out. He drops down a little bit, and with that flat, little tailing fastball and slider, he needed the screwball.
There goes the runner. Piniella charging hard. Makes the play. So Reggie Smith flies at Piniella. That ends the 7th inning. The Dodgers do not score. So as we go to the bottom of the 7th, it is Los Angeles 3 and the Yankees 2.
Which is a batter's out when. We go to the next page, and we'll find it. An infielder intentionally dropped a fair fly ball or line drive. And in the judgment of the umpire, they did not think that Bill Russell did it intentionally. So the umpire's judgment was involved in that section, the same as it was on Reggie. Did Reggie have intent or not? They did not think so. So the judgment was there, and the umpires stand by their judgment and say no in either case.
Okay, Chris Chambliss with the count of ball 1. There's the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the 7th inning. Chambliss bounced out to the shortstop in the 2nd. He popped to the catcher in the 5th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. Game 4 tomorrow. Game 5. Beatty against Bert Hooton. Ground ball, Lopes backhands it. 1 out. Davy Lopes signals 1 out, and there's his shot at the sky. And it is pretty dark. And I guess you're supposed to say those are ominous clouds. That's the only kind of clouds I ever hear about. Weatherman said we may get some more rain, but right now it's Fred Stanley. Outside, ball 1.
Tom, it seems like Tommy John has thrown a few more pitches up to this point of this game, doesn't it? He's been behind more hitters than he was the first time.
Well, I think that's because the Yankee hitters are walking up there taking a lot of pitches. You know, there's Red Adams on the phone to the bullpen. That's the Dodger pitching coach. The Dodgers have been taking more. Pardon me, the Yankees have been taking more pitches. That's the way Piniella established when he first went up there. Tommy, you're going to have to throw the ball in the strike zone. We're not going to swing. Definitely has been behind more.
2-1 pitch. Ground ball. Bill Russell, a big hop. 2 outs. Tommy John appears to be working just a little bit faster, too. He's getting that ball and throwing it. Here is Bucky Dent. 2 outs, nobody on. Dodgers leading 3-2, bottom of the 7th. In the 8th inning for the Dodgers, it'll be Garvey, Say, and Baker, the middle of the lineup. Outside, ball 1. Dent, single in the 3rd, bounce the 3rd to 1st and the 5th. 1-1 to count on Bucky Dent. A 3-run homer by Reggie Smith in the 5th inning. The Yankees came back with 2 in the 6th, and that's how we stand as we look at Paul Blair. Big iron bar that they use for the weight bat. 2 balls and a strike. Ball 3, 3-1. John has walked 2, struck out 2. Hits the strike. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Bouncing ball, Bill Russell, big hop. In time, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Tommy John. 3 ground balls at the end of 7. It's the Dodgers 3, the Yankees 2. Coming up, Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, and Dusty Baker. Strike one. Tidrow came on in his 6th. He has struck out 3. He's allowed 2 hits.
Surprised watching Garvey through this series and championship series. He swings at quite a few bad pitches.
He'll swing at a lot of pitches, bad breaking pitches down in the dirt. Ever since Lasorda wanted him to try and hit the home run ball, he's become much more aggressive.
There's his strike. In fact, I asked one of the Dodger pitchers, one of their starters, in fact, I won't reveal his name, how he pitched Garvey, and he said, I would never throw a strike. So fastballs up out of the strike zone and the breaking ball down low around, mid-calf.
1-2 pitch. Left field. White has room. 1 out.
Of course, as good as Garvey is, he would adjust sooner or later and get his 200 hits and drive his 100 runs.
That's why I was looking at
That's a good theory.
That's why
I know. Yeah. That's a good theory.
I think I'd pitch him up and way and bad balls up from the bench, too. But in the batter's box, I'd be a little careful because I think Garvey could hit 280 with just his arms.
You try that, Tony. You're exactly right, too. You try that throwing, and he'll just sit there and wait till he gets 3-0, 3-1. Then you got to throw a strike or else just walk him all day.
Ron Cey takes it outside, ball 1.
You can't do that. Cey coming up, Baker coming up. Those guys can pop one on you at any time. Who's going to make you throw strikes to him sooner or later?
Pull foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Big day on NBC Sports tomorrow. It begins 12:30 with NFL Today, and we climax it with the 5th game, Jim Beattie against Bert Hooton. Put your dial, NBC, 12:30 Eastern Time, and stay with us, and you're in for a treat. There's a strike in the outside corner. Tidrow is really hitting those corners. In the 8th inning, it'll be Blair, White, and Munson for the Yankees. 1-2 pitch. Hot smash. Greg Nettles has it. 2 outs.
What an interesting shot of Nettles stealing that ball because he has been so great on balls left and right. But this is the toughest one of all. Watch this. One hit right at you. You have no perspective, no side view. You cannot tell the bounce is what kind of hops. You can't judge the speed of the ball. And every infielder will tell you the one right straight at me is the toughest. And you can see how he battled that more than even the line drives down the line or in the hole.
Tony, you made the point earlier about the infield being rough in here after the Yankees had clinched the American League pennant from the Kansas City Royals. And people, of course, here in New York streamed on, tore up a lot of the infield. They had to replace some of the infield grass around the home plate area and around the pitcher's mound as well.
1-0 pitch. 1-1 the count. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2, 2 outs. 8th inning. Tidrow in relief of Figueroa. We had a 40-minute rain delay. Fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There it is. 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Yankees. Boy, this is one of those games, Tom, that Western used to call a cliff dweller.
Right. Well, that's my first manager in the major league, the New York Mets, in 1967, too.
Great guy, old Wesley. Good catcher with the Giants.
Scouting now for the Giants, isn't he?
I think so.
Been in that organization a long time.
1-2 pitch now to Dusty Baker. First strikeout for Tidrow. He's kept the Yankees close. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Los Angeles 3, Yankees 2. It'll be Blair, White, Munson for the Yankees.
The problem you've had, those flags are in left field, high above the facade. They are blowing out of the northwest. In right field, a while ago anyway, they were blowing the exact opposite direction. What we're trying to tell you is there's swirling currents because of this high triple-deck stadium. The wind swirls, and you have to really be careful on pop-ups at high in the air on long fly balls. Never know what the ball's going to do.
So the scene is set, and Paul Blair, who beat out a bunt in the first inning, and he was thrown out at the plate on a fine play by Reggie Smith as he tried to score. Yeager made a fine tag, so Blair 1 for 3. Say is even with the bag. Blair can bunt, likes to bunt. Ball 1.
So is Garvey. They're protecting against the double. Late in the ball game. Strike.
2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. Strike 2. Blair doesn't believe it.
It's tough for a hitter once you make that move in a bunt situation. He was going to try. You can see by that head going up and down, you lose perspective of the strike zone.
There's a base hit. Tying run is on.
Telephone to the bullpen. Terry Forster's down there. Roy White, the man up, is a switch hitter. With no outs, a man on first. It's an obvious bunt situation.
They're making sure, though, Tony, because White and Hauser are having a meeting along the third base line, which is just now broken up as Lasorda is out there talking to Tommy John. There's Hauser walking back to his coaching box. That's Terry Forster. Tying run is on. Paul Blair. Roy White. Well, Marty Springstead went out in the pregame show. Lasorda asked McSherry what he would do. I wonder if he asked Springstead. There's young Welsh.
He's called for Forster, I believe. He raised the left hand, Marty Springstead.
Tommy John pitched 7 2/3 innings in his win in game number 1. Here he has pitched 7. And Paul Blair in the bottom of the 8th, a single. The tying run is on.
Pitch off that stiff front leg. Puts a lot of pressure on his elbow. To stiffen up on him, get very tender and sore to pitch with. Never does he ever tell Red Adams, the pitching coach, that he can't pitch. He'll go out there and pitch till his arm breaks.
Roy White with Paul Blair, the tying run at first base. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody out. Dodgers 3, Yankees 2. Game 4. Tomorrow it's Beatty against Hooten, but right now it's Forster against White. Marty Springstead made the decision. The reason I waited, Frank Pulley at first base waited for Marty Springstead, who called him out.
Good sacrifice by Roy White. Harvey, as you saw, had to hold the runner on. Frank Pulley was blocked out, and the call was made by the man who's supposed to make it before first base. Marty Springstead, the home plate umpire.
So the tying run is in scoring position, and Munson and Jackson are the hitters. Probably the 2 toughest hitters in this lineup. Munson single to right in the first. Walked in the 4th. He walked in the 6th. Outfield not too deep. This was the situation in the first. Smith was able to get Blair at the plate. There is Jackson. Drama right now in that batter's box. Thurman Munson. That's out of play. Strike one. Munson, a busy kind of guy in that batter's box.
He's not just messing around, taking his gloves out. He calls himself a situation hitter. He's going over what he thinks that Forster will go with. Slider, fastball away.
Off his foot. That hit Munson in the foot. It is a foul ball. Munson fouled it off his foot. He went down. And it's strike two.
He doesn't need any more of these bumps or bruises. Probably was that slider that was moving down and in. The pitch that usually gets hit off the instep or the shin bone.
One out, two strikes. Tying run at second, Paul Blair. Forster in relief. Eighth inning. Is heading for second.
Your observations about Thurman were exactly right. Now, he's been up there all day trying to go to right field, and he knows Forster's going to go inside to him with that slider and that hard stuff. He just turned those hips and pulled that ball right down that line, shot it into the corner. A two-base hit and drives in the run that ties up the score.
No balls, two strikes. Look what Thurman did.
Smart hitter. Smart player. And got it just after taking one off the chin, too.
On base 4 times in this ball game, Joe. Munson.
Time is being called. The fans here really going wild. And the ground crew picking up the debris. There you see him, the captain, Thurman Munson. And Reggie Jackson is the batter. One man out. We're tied, 3 apiece. Jackson bounced to Garvey unassisted in the first, struck out in the fourth, drove in a run with a single in the sixth. Out there, it really got him. Looked like it may have got him on the elbow or the wrist. Can't see.
He really got drilled, Joe, with about as hard as fastball as Forster could throw. Trying to move him off the plate. They tried to pitch Reggie Jackson inside. Reggie told us that in our interview during the rain delay. Right there, right off, just above the elbow, it looked like.
Right at the elbow towards the wrist.
That's a painful spot if you get on the elbow. Hopefully you got on the muscle now, which is going to be sore. You don't get quite the damage. He really got drilled, Tom.
You know, Tony, you got to go inside with him. There's no way you can't pitch him inside. A big guy, you don't want to let him go out there and extend his arms. Look at his hand shaking right there with a glove on it. That's really got to hurt. You don't want to let a big hitter like Reggie go out and extend his arms. It's just too powerful, too big, and too strong, and you've got side.
Lasorda out to talk to Forster. I think Reggie was trying to see if he had any feeling. Now he's going to make a pitching to first in the fourth, get to a fourth play in the sixth. Piniella, tying run at tiebreaker is at second base. Insurance run at first. One out. There they are. 21-year-old Bob Welch. Foul back. He's 22 years old on November 3rd. Born in Detroit, lives in Ferndale. 6'3", 190 pounds. He pitched to two hitters. Runners on first and second. The Dodgers leading 4-3. He got Munson to fly to right and struck out Jackson. This is the second series game. Outside, 1-1.
Fastball.
Munson at second. Jackson is at first. Jackson trying to get a lead so he can take somebody out at second base if he has to. Ball three. The on-deck batter is Greg Nettles. Pitch and he went for it. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lou Piniella, 1 out. Score tied, 3 apiece. Munson at second. Jackson at first. Fouled it back. May have chased a bad ball, but in a spot like this, you don't get that selective.
You know, also, Joe, in a spot like that, you don't have much time to decide whether you're going to go after it or not. A guy who throws hard, you commit awfully early.
It's commit or be committed. Youngster. Out of play. Foul ball. Count remains at 3-2.
There's some tough pitches that Piniella's found out. That high fastball that's really taking off. One high and tight, another one just a little bit over the plate.
Same way Jackson did to L.A., remember? 3-2, same way. Bottom off.
This kid is something, 21 years old. He's going to be 47 when the series is over. Popped up. Garvey's going out after it. Lopes. Who's going to get it? Look out. They almost collide. Garvey makes the play. They rule infield fly.
First base umpire, Frank Pulley, waited until he was sure the ball was catchable within reason by the infielders and that it was going to be fair, and he called the infield fly. Piniella was automatically out.
And it's very difficult to hear anything in this ballpark. These fans are really hooting and hollering as Greg Nettles comes up. 2 outs. Score tied, 3 apiece. Bottom of the 8th. Nettles is bounced out to the second baseman. Shortstop and again to the second baseman. There they are. Munson at second, Jackson at first. High ball.
Talking about a fastball hitter, Tony. Here's another one that loves to swing at that fastball.
One right after the other in this Yankee lineup. You get the Munson on down through the Chambliss. Good fastball hitters.
Foul. That's way foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the 9th inning, it'll be Monday, North, and Yeager.
He knows what he's going to get here. Greg is pretty sure. As you see Munson at second base, Jackson over at first. He knows he's going to get a fastball. And watch his right knee. He'll cock that right knee and really try and turn on it. Watch Nettles' right knee.
2-1.
Saying to himself, the ball's going to come in here hard. I'm going to swing hard. And he can turn on a fastball.
Foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
He's getting out in front on the Wells fastball. The ball is about Oh, 6 inches inside. He still gets the big part of the bat. There's the timing device that a lot of hitters use. That right knee cock and the hand cock at times.
Dodger bench. Tense. Yankee bench. Tense. He wants a new series of signs. He wasn't sure. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, tied, 3-3, bottom of the 8th. Tiebreaker at second, Munson, Jackson's at first. He's going to make sure, and that's what a good pitcher does. You don't want to be so worried about the signs that you lose your concentration. I tell you, this kid has been able to get Munson, Jackson, and Piniella, all good hitters in tough situations, and now he's got Nettles. Red Adams, the pitching coach, right now, in this difficult situation for Welch, wants to clear it up once and for all. I was going to say, Tony, I don't think what Yeager puts down now is going to mean anything. Red Adams is telling him what to throw on the next 2 pitches at least. There's no time to get brilliant. Now you got to go to firing.
Adams was telling us during the workout here before the first game in Yankee Stadium that Welch, as a starting pitcher, threw a lot of breaking balls. There's Lasorda, and that he does have a pretty good curveball. He doesn't have the confidence in it. Obviously, in this situation, you would think fastball.
A breaking ball, and he might have got it up. It was not his good fastball. It wasn't that swifty.
It was a slider of some kind, or a curveball that he overthrew awfully hard.
Something either a change-up or whatever, a slider. Greg gets out. Looks like he hit it right on the end of his bat. He really went after it good, but he turned on it, pulled it down. Looks like he hit it. Welch had him out front, hit it on the end of the bat.
See the body English there, too. Hitting the follow-through, trying to keep it fair.
Two and two outs. Foul ball. Oh, man.
Got another one, don't we?
We're sitting up here with sweaty palms, and that shot of the dugout, Jay Johnstone was yawning. It wasn't exciting enough for him.
I tell you, you can't get excited here. You must run on batteries. Here we go again. Nettles against Welch. Fouled off a couple pitches. Now Nettles is fouling off pitches. Look at that bench. Red Adams with Beaver. That's Didrow with the towel on his head. Bucky Dent. Bob Lemon. Struck him out. Bob Welch.
Call that finesse, man.
Oh, that'll hurt your arm.
One ball, one strike. Gossage, in his second series game, he pitched 2 innings in game 2, retired 6 in a row with no strikeouts. One ball, 2 strikes. Hanging tough. We got a dandy going. 2 and 2. We had a 40-minute rain delay. Well, that seems like a week ago. Just got a piece of it. Foul tip. Hit Springstead's chest protector.
He's throwing so hard you can see Monday when he fouled that one off, the bat was still trailing way back in the strike zone. He'd have gotten that ball and hit it, but then off to the left field foul line seats.
The outfield really doesn't think that Monday can pull the ball. They're shading towards left center. behind on that one. Count remains at 2-2. Nobody out. Monday, the leadoff man here in the ninth. Score tied, 3 apiece. There's Billy North. He really put some extra into that.
That's like that pitch he threw in the All-Star game. Well, his wild pitch down and in. He was really firing that game, remember?
That got right. Munson didn't get his glove down.
No, not even close.
Munson said he's the toughest guy there is in this staff to catch. He said Guidry's ball moved, but he throws strikes in it. He's around the strike zone. He said, gosh, you never know. He could be wild inside, outside, low, high.
He looks like he throws a heavy ball. 4-4. Monday draws the walk. So the leadoff man for the Dodgers is on. It brings up Billy North. North flied to center, bounced out to the shortstop. That was in the 5th, and bounced out second to first in the 6th.
And this guy
Nettles is moving in close for the bunt.
A tough man to bunt, Joe. A high fastball that takes off. It's tough to get the ball down on the ground.
Ball 1. Hamler's coming hard. Nettles coming hard.
It's an obvious bunt situation. Vic Davalillo. There goes Billy North going down to make sure of his signs. Third base coach Preston Gomez. Vic Davalillo has been over to the bat rack in the Dodger dugout, getting a helmet on. Looks like you have a pinch hitter for Steve Yeager.
Roy White in left field, Tom, is way over near the line, which has really shown tremendous respect for, look at him, how close he is to the line. Remember, North batting left-handed.
Well, North slapping the ball. We'll just try and slap the ball to left field. Not a pull hitter, that's for sure.
There's Davalillo.
Getting ready, getting his pine tar and rosin.
Pops it up.
Thought he might try and trap that ball. Let it hit the ground. Because North never left the batter's box.
Never left the batter's box. Walking back to the dugout. As soon as he popped in his walking mitts, could have been an automatic double play. Just lets the ball fall.
I think Nettles thought that Monday was far enough off he could throw behind him. Had he let the ball hit the ground first, he'd have had each runner dead to right. But how can you criticize a guy whose glove's going to walk in the Hall of Fame if nothing else?
There you see Davalillo. 12 for 47, 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter in 1978. And he really cocks that front leg. Tony made mention of the hitting device used by Nettles. Watch this guy, almost shades of the late and great Mel Ott. He really cocks that leg, but not near the power of Mel Ott. Tough strike zone.
I'm trying to think, was it Charlie Metro that found out about him in the Mexican League?
There was Charlie, all right.
He thought he was too old, one of the scouts for the Dodgers. Said, hey, listen, this guy can still hit. He was down there looking for somebody else. I think pitching help, as I recall. And he said, you can use this guy as a pinch hitter. Put him along with Manny Mota, and you've got one from each side.
He sort of says he doesn't care how old they are. In fact, he kids him. He says Davalillo and Mota are older than dirt. Davalillo's in that batter's box now. Against Gossage, 1 man out. Ball 1. Davalillo, 71 was in a series with Pittsburgh, 73 with Oakland, here, 77 in L.A. 1 ball, 1 strike. When you got a fastball pitcher like this, and you stay low as a catcher, the umpire gets all the foul tips. It goes right over you. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. We're tied, 3-3. We're in the 9th. Ball, 2 strikes. Foul straight back. Monday. He's the tiebreaker. Out of play.
Still a guy batting, Davalillo, when he first came up, could really run. You can see that right foot with that closed stance, and when he starts to swing, he's bailing out and stepping toward first base. His first step, after one step, he's right in full gear.
Out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Jammed house here at Yankee Stadium, and I don't see an empty seat. Left field, Roy White should make the play. Monday's tagging up. He bluffs Roy White's throw into second base. Monday remains at first. 2 outs. Davy Lopes is the batter. Lopes flied to right in the first, lined to Nettles in the third. He walked and scored in the fifth and flied to right. Yankee Knight, Chambliss, Stanley, and Dent. What was that, Tom?
Not time to shave yet, is it? And that ball's hard, too.
Popped up. Dent's going out. Blair's coming in. Dent taking charge. Makes the play. And Chambliss leads it off. He's 0 for 3. 0-1. Young Welch came on in the jam and got Pinella to pop up and struck out Nettles. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're tied. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You see Chambliss trying to cut down the swinger. That he's got the sore right hand. He tried to cut the swing down and just meet the ball and hit it somewhere.
One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 9th. All tied, 3 apiece. Two balls and 2 strikes now. Brett Stanley, the on-deck batter. Him out. Chambliss is out on strikes, and now Stanley is called back, and Jim Spencer is coming out of the Yankee dugout. I think if Chambliss would have gotten on, Stanley probably would have stayed in the game to bunt him over, but Chambliss out on strikes. Here is Spencer.
Jimmy Spencer, a good defensive first baseman, been used as a DH. He played for Tommy Lasorda in the Dominican Republic. Lasorda managed there quite a few years, up until last year, I believe. And we had a good conversation before the ballgame. They're still friends. Spencer lost Lasorda's stopwatch down in the Dominican Republic, and Lasorda said, "I'm getting the money back. We're getting the winner's share this year."
Power hitter. Leaves the Yankees and the White Sox for Stan Thomas and Cash. Swung around. Yankee fans must be thinking of Ryan Doran watching that. All the way back to the screen.
I guarantee you, Jim Spencer's thinking about it right now.
One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. strike. Breaking ball. 21 years old. Off the handle on a play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's like a pitching machine. He just gets the sign and comes at you.
Amazing composure that he has had coming in 2 absolutely pressure-packed situations. The game out in Los Angeles against Reggie Jackson, and then here he comes in and runs the count to 3-2. He's 21 years old, pressure-packed, still has that composure to be able to throw strikes.
Little looper. Stays giving the chase. It is a foul ball. He just fought that pitch off. He was completely fooled. It was a breaking ball, an off-speed pitch, and at the last minute, Spencer just muscled it out that way, and for a while, it looked like it was going to be big trouble.
You got to look for fastball off this guy. There's Bobby West, there's no question, and he is fooled by the breaking ball. Just kind of flipped it over Ron Say's head, but it drifted foul.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 9th. Tie score. Struck him out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Bob Wells. Spencer is out on strikes. Here is Bucky Dent. Boy, I tell you, the way this guy's going, they're going to give him a locker in the telephone booth so he can change uniforms. He has been something. Pressure packed. He got Piniella and struck out Nettles, and now he struck out Chambliss and Spencer. Strike.
Started him off with a breaking ball. He's getting a little tricky out there. I think he's shown them in 2 appearances about 3 or 4 breaking balls, and that's it. But they still can't catch up to his fastball. They're looking for it.
Another one, too.
Could be an easy play. It is Billy Narva. Center field. Paul Blair should have no problem. 1 out. Brings up Reggie Smith, who hit a 3-run homer. I'll tell you something, boys. That play by Reggie Jackson, he gets a lot of publicity with his bat. But that play looms bigger and bigger when he was hit by the throw.
How about the play this guy made? Throwing out Blair.
Well, that was
Right
the play,
there.
but Jackson's play, it's got the...
little tree.
There'll be some explanations to that one. He was down for downtown, didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. There'll be all kinds of explanations and reasons given, and it all boiled down to judgment. Left field out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gossage. He just gets the ball and throws as hard as he can for as long as he can. Two balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on.
Joe, the pitchers like this, there's Garvey on deck with that little extra something on their fastball are effective in this ballpark because you can't pull them. They're always making you hit the ball to the big part of the ballpark, left center field, dead center, right center. If that's trailing just a little bit, you can't quite get out in front.
Struck him out. That's the first strikeout for the Goose. So there are 2 outs, nobody on. Steve Garvey, the batter. Garvey hitting the unique double play in that first inning, the 9-3-6 double play. He walked in the 4th, flied to right in the 5th, flied to left. Out of play, foul ball. Didn't get around on it. For the Yankees in the bottom of the 10th, Paul Blair, Roy White, Thurman Munson. That trio that tied it up. He is really talking.
You've got 2 guys that come out of the bullpen in this game late. And on this fire, nothing but express press up there. Gossage and Welch. It was all fastball. A couple of curveballs to Bucky Kent where you couldn't get hurt, but to the big guys that can hurt you, it's all number one.
He wants him to go way outside off the strike zone. Is that what Munson was saying, Joe? You see that right hand? He's way out the strike zone.
He doesn't want him to make a mistake and come in with it. Hit that outside corner. We're going to miss it. Way out there. Slider. And he may come back and do it again and get him on the 2-2 pitch. It'll be interesting to see how he works him. There he goes again. He wanted it outside. He's going for that corner. Foul ball. Rivers 3 for 8 in the World Series. There was an extra-inning game in last year's World Series. Game number 1, Yankees won it in 12 innings, 4-3 at New York. Look at Ron Say sneaking in. Popped up behind the plate. Brody's coming near the stands. He has a play. He makes it. Rivers fouls to Brody. 1 out. The batter is Roy White. White, a very key bunt in that 8th inning. When Blair singled, White moved him along, and Blair scored on a double by Munson. The bunt will get lost in that box score, but that was the big one. Strike. 1 out, nobody on. 3-3. Fastball, strike 2.
I guess it's going to be who weakens first between Welch and Gossage, and neither one's showing signs at this point. They're really throwing hard.
You can hear that glove pop up here. Brody's using a pillow. I know that glove doesn't pop. Little soft ones.
Real small one, too, Joe. Like small pocket, and the ball gets in there, it stays out. This is probably the smallest glove of any catcher in the big league.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Trying to settle the young pitcher down. Right here, no problem. We got 2-2, 1 out. Make a good pitch. Still in command.
Ball 3.
There's a little touch of experience for you right there. Did you see Grody take that ball out, rubbed it up, make sure he let Welch just relax a minute, take a little bit of time. Big pitch here. Don't want this guy in first base. Make him hit his way on. You don't want to walk him.
Foul ball. Fastball.
You find a lot of that kind of stuff. Check swing, foul off on a hard throw. And you mentioned it before, Tom. The last time he came in, Gossage or Forrester, you have to start so quickly in order to get that bat out in the hitting area.
Your observations, Tony, about these 2 guys coming out throwing nothing but heat is exactly correct. And it could be a story of who weakens first. Welch is throwing with an injury to his rib cage on the right-hand side, and it had bothered him, not the other night, but he has had some trouble with it. If he gets a little bit tired, that could become a sore spot for him.
Thurman Munson with Reggie Jackson on deck. 1 man out. Score tied, 3-3. Jackson, it was the confrontation. Jackson against Welch. Welch struck him out.
And Joe Welch better not take Roy White for granted down at first base, because he got a pretty good lead on that first pitch. A little bit walking.
Popped up in the infield. Russell saved. They're having trouble, and it stayed up there. Russell made it. They looked at each other for what seemed like 30 seconds.
I just think it's so noisy in here. So there's so many people that are making so much crowd noise that they're having trouble communicating. right here. Look at this. Young Bob Wilson, the veteran, the slugger home run hitter, Reggie Jackson.
Reggie said he lost his concentration when Bucky Dent broke off second. There are 2 outs. Roy White is at first base. Right now it's Jackson against Welch again. Ball. As he was all game. He's back.
And don't forget, Jackson's been hitting the arm today, too. How much strength he's going to have in that arm, we don't know. He took a pretty good shot from Terry Forster off that right forearm.
Strike. Look how far back he is.
Looks like he wants to swing, Tony. You know that?
Might not if the elbow's hurt him. That right, that bottom hand for left-handers, the one that can pull him back through. Can't get it out.
White stopped at second. And it's up to Piniella. Jackson continues to hit. Second base hit.
Ahead on the count. Another one of those strong guys who, when they roll those wrists, the ball just picks up speed, goes to the infield. Roach made a good try for it, but it just kept bounding, and that overspin shot it right through the infield.
First hit the youngster is given up. And the game is on at second base. Roy White. We are tied 3-3. Bottom of the 10th, 2 outs. Against Welsh in the 8th, top of the first baseman Garvey. There is the ball game. Jackson is on at first. 2 outs. Strike one. apiece. As we get ready for Game 5, Jim Beattie against Bert Hooten. He had a good pitch, Tony.
No ball, one strike pitch. Looked like it was up and away, but we'll see it again. Might have been a ball. He really tomahawked it hard to right center, so Piniella with his hit ends the game. Here's Roy White coming off second base. North had no chance whatsoever as Hauser gives the go-ahead sign. The big cheer you hear now in the background is White scores the fourth run. It's Piniella coming out of the dugout. Look at the Yankees. It was Piniella in the first inning. He caught a line drive off Garvey to double Russell off at second base. There is number 14, Lou Piniella, Reggie Jackson, and Lou Piniella. These ball games get any tenser. My goodness, how can they?
That was one happy fellow right there, Lou Piniella.